Last time on Dice Funk.
Nice robot.
His name is George.
All right, so do you want to set up a date with this giant ostrich made of kicks?
Yeah, why not?
You tell me what happened in those tunnels, and I'll sign your medical bill.
I'm gonna be honest, you know about as much as I do about what went on in that tunnel.
Why would he think that I was still alive?
He was supposed to take you out, but he couldn't go through with it.
Yeah, he said that too. New management.
The new boss has got a real hard-on for dissecting you.
What did that person who just took over at the top of your game do to get there?
Aeronautics. Aeron. Guns that shoot through walls and stuff. I mean, Ash is equipped with an incredibly powerful electromagnetic device, which repels gunfire.
Like an oddly cool reaction for somebody who's heard like the only parental figure they've ever known could potentially have been killed.
You guys need military clearance? Is this, am I on candid camera?
Supposedly, their clearance is blocked behind that tier of security.
Yeah, why is that? Nucky's not a military dude, he's a fucking conman.
I would be hesitant to ask you to pull a heist inside of Sharp Investments. Their headquarters is a 108-story skyscraper, but considering that somewhere in this skyscraper is the server with the information you're looking for, as well as the card that I desire, I think you and I can come to some sort of arrangement that makes this mission make sense for all of us.
Easy as pie.
Nermal first appeared in the September 3rd, 1979 strip of the comic book.
Thank you, Chris. All right, so we're ready for the third arc. You guys are going to go into Sharp Investments, a 108-story skyscraper in North Valentine. You were there both to secure data off of the company servers for yourself, while finding out where Nucky is and what he's up to and why his bank account has a military clearance requirement on it. That's extremely weird because you need a fence so you can sell your computer stuff. And you're also there because Bo, your sponsor in the game, wants you to steal a card, a playing card, a Hollodeck card from the Sharp family, which is said to be in this building. We have met Algernon Sharp, Frank's rival, the Kaiba to his Yugi. You guys have not met Richard Sharp, his father.
Is he Pegasus?
Nah, see, like, my mental logic is I keep framing all of this in Yu-Gi-Oh! References, so for anyone who's, like, up on Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'm picturing, like, Joey and Kaiba's dad, who is not around but is a figure in later series. I'm like, okay, I've got reference points for all this, I know where I'm going, yeah.
While you might get a more enjoyment out of this arc if you are familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering, it's not necessary, just like in the wrestling arc, which I created with very little wrestling knowledge. It's going to be one of those things where if you absolutely need to know something, I will explain it.
I will probably need things explained. I'm going to just admit that up front.
Which is great.
Same.
We have a couple players on here. I know, Chris, you have played, I think, Hearthstone of all the games. Is that the one you're most into?
I played most everything at some point in time, but Hearthstone's the one I still play regularly. But I played Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon TCG, Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, same here. Magic's the one I'm most invested in, but I played Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot as a young person. I actually won a local tournament. It's kind of a thing I did. And Laura, you are probably even more experienced in Yu-Gi-Oh! Than me.
Yeah, I played all of them at some point or another. I still sometimes occasionally play the Pokemon card game because it's like, it hasn't gone to ludicrous extremes. It's still like you can explain it to people and they understand what you're on about.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the one that like I had a big investment in. Once upon a time, I was like a ranked tournament player at Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mm-hmm.
That was like a thing I did for a while.
Yeah, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is interesting because it started off as a manga. It has a really complicated history. Konami did a lot of stuff behind the scenes that kind of screwed it over. But the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that everyone knows the anime in the West, and that's where I think we're going to be drawing a lot on that particularly, more than the card game itself.
So does Frank have some sort of transformation sequence he goes into that we have yet to see? Is this what this is leading
It
up
is yet
to?
to be established, but if halfway up this tower it turns out that Frank has an inner, taller and more suave version of himself that he can summon from ancient Egypt, I'm not going to complain.
Will like fake ancient Egyptian music play?
Are you telling me that wasn't an authentic Egyptian music track they played?
I don't know. I don't trust him.
As a music expert, I can say that is either authentic or inauthentic Egyptian music. So
I trust Skitch.
So a thing we established about Frank's backstory at the beginning of this campaign was that you had driven your family to financial ruin through your dedication to Hollodeck, the card game. That might seem like an artistic exaggeration, but it's important for this arc for everyone to understand just how expensive card gaming is as a hobby.
Yeah.
I have open in front of me a site that tracks all of the prices for all the metagame decks in Magic the Gathering. So if you want to play the best decks with the best cards in Magic the Gathering, that's Vintage. That's what that format is called. I'm on the Vintage metagame site, and here are the prices for some top tier decks. Ravager Shops costs $16,433.
No, ma'am.
Inferno Oath costs $17,837.
Yep.
And we got UBR, also known as Grixis, costs $18,767.
Yeah.
That's a single deck. And now if you're a professional player, you're going to play multiple decks. And not only that, but you can conceivably have special versions of every card, holographic versions, which can cost double, triple, quadruple each individual card in that deck. 60 cards in a deck. So you can be looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars for your decks, and that's not even counting the really special ones, like the ones that are given out for tournaments, which are one of a kind. I think one that hit the news recently was a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon that got put up in a shop in Japan for $400,000.
Yep. There are, like, the big one in Magic the Gathering was the Black Lotus for a while, is the big one anyone knows of, as like, oh, expensive card. If you are someone who was playing actively and then you leave for a while and you go, oh, I'll just jump back in, I'll buy a deck that's up to date, that can get very expensive very quick. Being up to date when new packs comes out gets very expensive very quick, and I think there is definitely some truth to the idea of someone who is at competitive level and then drops down and is trying to claw their way back up can rack up a lot of money very quick chasing after that.
And even if you get some of the expensive cards, you're not safe, because the thing about these games is to make money, the companies have to constantly be putting out new relevant cards. So let's say you have a deck that all the cards are really good in it, really expensive, hundreds and hundreds of dollars a piece, and then they print a new card, which instantly kills all of your cards.
Yep.
Now they are suddenly worthless. And even worse, you can have really good cards, and the company can just decide they're banned.
Yeah.
And now all of them are worthless. And all of these are incredibly controversial things, but all you really need to know before we jump in is that, like most things in Valentine, we're not really exaggerating that much.
As someone who, like, used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! At a tournament level and then stopped being competitive at it and chased after that because that was the thing that was like, I used to be good. I can tell you from first-hand experience, it can get expensive very quickly, and, like, there's not a huge amount of exaggeration in, yeah, Frank probably could have bankrupted his family trying to chase after that.
I was doing a little research on the website that has all the meta stuff, and I like how most different tiers of play have some form of budget deck that you can make, except for Vintage. There's no such thing as a budget way to play Vintage. The most budget deck I can see is like $4,000.
Yeah. So budget decks are an entire genre of like content for the gaming community. Everyone's always looking for budget options, but Vintage has a floor because to even get in the door, you need some very old cards, which are very low supply, very high demand.
Yeah.
Like they're called the Power 9.
Yep. 9
cards from early in the game before they really knew what they were doing in designing cards. Which is a great segue because you guys are ready to steal a card, which is in a very similar situation. I think I saw listeners say, oh, you guys are going to steal the Black Lotus. Like, the Black Lotus is famous because someone pulled one and sold it for $30,000 brand new. And that was really hype. It was really exciting. It was like a big news story. But that, I mean, $30,000 is actually not that big a deal when you see some of these special ones.
This is not like you're selling that one Yu-Gi-Oh card that was made for a kid that went through the Make-A-Wish Foundation and it's him as a card and only one of it exists and it is priceless. Like, we're not talking that realm yet.
It's somewhere between Black Lotus and I believe Tyler is the name of that card.
I read up about that. Tyler, was it the greatest warrior or something like that, or something?
I believe
like that?
so, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sad now.
He actually survived and is doing well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm less sad. Gay.
And he still has his pristine, one-of-a-kind Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Oh, whew, okay.
That's why the price on it is name your price, because it's technically he names the price for what that card is worth, if anything.
All right, so we're going to jump into this now. I just wanted to set some ground stuff. Actually, why don't I throw it to you guys? Why don't you ask me questions about this? Because where we left the plot was you guys were in Bo's room. Catarina was face down in a smashed potted plant. We're going to time skip to the heist. But in the interim, if you guys want to know anything about this heist, now's the time to ask.
One thing that I'm curious about is, so we're going into what is like some sort of skyscraper or tower, effectively.
108 stories. In fact, I had an idea for this building, which I thought was sci-fi and like magic, and I was ready to be like, I know this is out there, but you know, magic exists in this universe, so it's fine. But then I Googled it, and this building already exists. It's called the Diamond Tower in Saudi Arabia. I'm uploading a picture of it to our Roll20.
Oh, snap.
It looks like snakes coiled around each other.
Oh, heck.
My only question to you is there an NPC on each floor that we need to recruit into our army before we reach the top of it in order to allow a crucial NPC to come back from the dead?
That's a sick Soikoden reference. I loved it. But no, Bo tells you that if she was in charge of Sharp Investments, she would keep her very important server and very valuable card on either the top floor or the bottom floor. And also there are elevators. So I think that will become clear as you get inside.
When you say the top floor or the bottom floor, do we know if that 108 floors includes any basement floors?
There's always basements in North Valentine because South Valentine's under it.
Yeah. Okay. So do we know what the split is of how many are above, how many are below?
Oh, there's 108 above. Below is just like maintenance and you know.
Secret card.
Okay, right.
I think it's in the basement.
Bo's like, listen, I've watched movies before. I bet there's something cool in the basement. Like, I'm not trying to hide that from you.
How do we get in?
Good question. I don't know if you guys have ever been in the lobby of a skyscraper before. I actually went into what used to be Sears Tower, which is now Willis Tower. The first floor, the ground floor, is like an airport. It's enormous, and there's people everywhere. It's like bedlam. You guys can just walk in. No one's going to be like, look at those four. Like, there's just people going about their day. So you can just walk in, and then we'll figure out what's going on from there. Like, that part is fine. It's like, once you're in the doors, then we'll start improvising, and we'll, role play.
Before we go in, like, there's a thing I've been thinking about, and I don't know whether this is just, like, completely sidestepping the point of the heist. But there's a little bit of me that was like, okay, so potentially this thing we need might be in the top floor of this tower. I do have invisibility and spider climb. Could I just, like, climb up the outside of the building and be like, have a look in through the window up the top, be like, which floor do we need to be on?
I do not want to quash your creativity. I'm very excited for you guys to try some whack stuff. In my mind's eye, I picture Frank getting, like, 20 stories and then having to make strength rolls to not fall off, and if you fail one you die.
That's fair, and considering how out of shape Frank is, that is a fair thing to impose on him.
But also, even if you had a spell that lets you fly, I'd be like, yeah, you can fly up and look at the top of the tower, but the people who made it thought of that.
Yeah.
And they have like anti-teleportation spells, they have like infiltration stuff, because Sharp Investments is the nerve center of all finance in Valentine. Any money that matters is in there.
This is why it felt like, I was like, this has to be too obvious of a thing. Like, surely there is an easy answer as to why I couldn't just do that. And, like, I am happy with that.
Oh, yeah, what card are we there to steal?
For me, I wasn't sure whether that was the thing I should ask in character or not, because I assume if we're talking a card of that rarity, Frank would probably already know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is the card? Tell me about the card.
Hollodeck is a game Very much like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Hearthstone or the Pokemon game, where you summon monsters and cast spells and you pay resources to get those things. And there are special promotional cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has the God cards. And in this universe, the gods are dead, but there is something more powerful than the gods, which have been immortalized in card form.
Is it the corporation cards?
So in card form, we have the form cards, right?
Indeed.
Ah.
So it's the card.
So, quick crash course in Platonic idealism. There was once an old guy named Plato, and he theorized that there were two worlds, the physical world, which we all exist in, and a world of ideals or concepts or forms, capital F forms. The simplest way to break this down is that in the world of forms, there is the perfect chair, capital C, chair. And in our world, the physical world, there are many chairs, but they're all pale, imperfect reflections of the ideal chair, the Platonic chair. And this dichotomy is a theory in our world, but in the Dice Funk universe, it's just literally true. So far, and through the various seasons, we've met hunger, capital H, hunger itself, death itself, guilt itself, sacrifice itself. And these are cards in Hollodeck. Very powerful, many of which aren't legal at all. And in fact, the one you guys are here to steal is one so broken, it essentially renders the game meaningless. This card is called Avarice itself. This card lets you trade your life points to draw cards. Now, this is a classic thing people have to understand when they get into card games, is that your life points are just a resource. I think people intuitively want to protect their life points when they play a game because they lose when you run out. But the only life point that matters is the last one. You can win with full or you can win with one. And the thing that actually matters is what's called card advantage. Having as many cards as possible so you have as many options. And this is something every card game screws up at the beginning. In Magic the Gathering, there was Ancestral Recall, which lets you draw 3 cards for 1 mana. Absolutely untenably broken. Yu-Gi-Oh! Had Pot of Greed.
Yeah.
A card that just lets you draw more than it was itself worth.
Yeah.
Here's a analogy for people who don't play card games. It's like if one of the football players on the field had a gun and just ran around shooting the other players. Not only is it totally overpowered, but unless you also have a gun, you may as well not even play.
It's like having the football player whose special ability is that you can put an extra football player on your team, and that football player that you get as a bonus might let you also put another football player on your team, and so on. It's like, why would you not put on the football player that lets you add an extra football player to your team anyway?
I've gotten very lost in this analogy now because now I'm thinking about football players being slotted onto the field like cards, and it's really hard for me to visualize this now. I'm losing it.
Well, the way I like to think of it as well, from a general balance standpoint, it's an option that is so out there and broken, it becomes mandatory for you to have it to even engage in the game itself. That's a reason why they would remove it from the general field.
I mean, say what you want about Bill Belichick's personality, but he knows how to brew a deck. I'll say that. I got lost in the metaphor.
That's really lost in the metaphor comment there.
I must say, I'm really thankful that you've laid out at the start that this card is like so busted it will never be allowed to be used in tournaments ever, because that does take away a potential temptation for Frank. Which is, this card might be a way to finally beat Algernon.
Yeah, so I just want to put that on the table. We're going to jump in just a second. But if you guys have any questions, once again, I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Now is the time, because after here, you guys are entering a building chock-a-block with armed guards. And if you mess up, it's going to get spicy. And it'll be too late for questions.
I don't have a question so much as I have a comment.
Mm-hmm.
So Irma is the name of the waitress who works at Irma's Diner in Garfield. And she has never met Odie.
It's very important.
For listeners, Chris promised before the recording that every time I gave a boring card game fact, he would give me a fact about Garfield, the comic strip character.
Almost 40 years of publication, and Irma has never met Odie. That's astounding.
That is astounding.
Does John Arbuckle not care about taking his dog to a restaurant? He takes his cat.
Did I sufficiently describe the building?
It looks fucking dank.
It's really good. It looks like a couple snakes coiled around each other. In our universe, it's literally that. Not that they're actual snakes. That literally was not the word I wanted there, huh?
They're literally snake shaped.
Defying all laws of nature and God. It's just right up there in the sky. All right, so we've stalled enough. You guys walk into the lobby of Sharp Investments. You know Sharp is the richest possible company, even though they're owned by Crown. It's like ABC is owned by Disney, but ABC is still a multinational conglomerate. It's enormous in value and power, and every floor is a different Sharp company, right? It's like Sharp Real Estate, Sharp Insurance, Sharp Payday Loans. Like that, it's all of that. And you guys enter the lobby, and there's people everywhere dressed in fancy suits, carrying suitcases. You guys see Dragonborn, Lizard Folk, Modron, Mole Folk. There's just people there in fancy dress. There's people there, security guards, and they're wearing, black shades, and they have those earpieces, and they have guns. It's a big, important deal. And that's where the four of you are as you walk into this building.
For fan art purposes, because I want to see this, Miss Lenora's wearing a lady's suit in the style of the Dior bar suit, which is the epitome of the new look. Okay, I'm done. I just really want to see that.
Ed is dressed with black shoes, black slacks, a black button-up shirt with a deep blue tie, and he doesn't have shades on at the moment, but he's just keeping very low key with his attire.
Frank is attempting to wear just like a very plain, unassuming suit, but if he gets drawn into a card game, he's going to take that suit jacket and put it around his neck like it's a cape. First thing I'm curious about when we get into this lobby is there any indication in the lobby of what is on which floors? Like, is there any indication of like, okay, these floors are maybe not listed, what's there? Is there any indication of like, these floors are public, these ones are not?
Yeah, like the little things in the front of offices.
Yeah, good question. You guys walk across the lobby. There's a big information desk with, what are those people called? Not secretaries, but
Administrative assistants.
yeah, there's like a bank of them, like at an airport, right, where you go to, check in, and there's like 6 people sitting behind desks, and you can line up and get questions. Behind them, there's a board which lists all of the different things you might be there for, and there are a lot of unlisted floors because those aren't ones that are consumer facing. Like, they're there if you're there to work, but they're not looking for anyone to come up and talk to them. So it's not clear immediately where you guys should be going, but you see these administrative assistants sitting behind this counter. There's like 6 of them, and you could probably ask them questions, and you probably should because you recognize one of them.
Is it Reese?
No, Reese works at the bank.
Oh, who is it?
It is Wendy, the Yeti.
What?
She has multiple jobs, like pretty much everybody in South Valentine. Chris, you told a really great story off the air about someone who was like a championship wrestler and they got in trouble because they had a second job. Can you tell that story again?
Yeah, so the wrestling company TNA is somewhat notorious for not paying tremendous amounts of money, but there was a women's champion in TNA, and I'm blanking on who the actual wrestler was at the moment, but she basically got spotted working at a sunglasses hut in the mall, and the person came up to her like, "Aren't you the champion?" And she was just like, "Yeah." I work here too.
That's Taylor Wilde, right?
It might have been Taylor Wilde. I don't remember the wrestler off the top of my head, but yeah, she was pretty embarrassed being seen working at a sunglass hut when she was supposed to be, the top level performer in her division in TNA,
Yeah, which is also a good response. I saw some people questioning if you guys got paid for being wrestlers in the last heist. And like, yeah, you guys probably got checks in the mail for like $15 or something. Like you might have gone out to eat, but that did not make any dent in your debt. Being a professional wrestler at that level is not glorious.
So is there anyone who's got particular affinity with Wendy that might be a good person to speak to them?
Hey, Wendy, what's up?
Oh, hey, Kat. How are you? Hi. Oh, you're friends. Hey.
Hey, are you okay? You sound a little different.
This is the voice they want me to use. My normal one makes people uncomfortable.
That's strange. This one's making me very uncomfortable.
Hey, listen, it was that or like it was either that or sexy baby voice.
Do the sexy baby voice. I want to hear that.
See, I can't hear it without hearing a Michael Jackson impersonation in my mind.
She's a Yeti, so she's a huge, fluffy, muscle-bound
Lady.
people find terrifying and off-putting, even though she's a perfectly harmless vegan yoga fan. But this is just kind of a code switching for various social situations.
It sounded like really stoned Michael Jackson, not just Michael Jackson.
Listen, I can make it so much worse.
Yes.
Let me be clear. I can also be Obama. If you like your Yeti, you can keep it.
That was actually pretty good.
Do you have a response, Chris?
I'm sorry, I forgot what the actual last sentence was. I got lost in this. I got lost. Obama showed up. He was in the room with us recording, and we're not Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know how he's on this show. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. She just acknowledged you and your friends.
So, hey, I was wondering if you might be able to help us out. We're trying to find something in here.
Yeah, what do you need?
And that's what I'll turn over to Frank, because I don't remember all the details.
So you're just dropping it on Frank to be like, oh yeah, which floor do you keep your top secret holodeck cards and your hidden servers on?
That's what I was legitimately about to just yell. I think a trading card? Where do you keep your one trading card?
So Frank's gonna come up to the desk and be like, I don't know if you can help at all. Just after a little bit of information. We've got a couple of appointments to get done while we're here, and just wanted to know sort of what the everything's like in the building. Like, do we need to get a key card before we go up for appointments or anything, or do we just hop in the elevator and off we go?
You don't need key cards for any of the floors that are publicly accessible. Unless you have a meeting with Mr. Sharp.
Well, we were hoping for one of those before we finish our day, but that's a bit more of a... I realise this is, those appointments don't get given out to just anyone, I guess we'd have to know someone, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Lenora's gonna go to the desk and be like, hello, I'm writing a paper on this building for college because I'm in college. I need to know what's on every single floor for my paper.
Roll deception.
22.
Wow, very good. Wendy tells you that the first 107 floors are boring business stuff. The 108th floor is Mr. Sharp's personal floor, his penthouse suite, which has security, which you can't get to without using the special executive elevator. And the basement is not open to the public.
Okay.
Well, it definitely is either the top or the bottom.
Thank you very much for helping that very unconnected to us college student, but
I met all of you last week.
Yeah, you did.
They're helping me with my project.
Yeah. So, look, here's the thing. If we were to try and get an appointment with Sharp, do you know if Sharp is available today for appointments?
I'm gonna be honest with you. No. He's basically never available.
Ooh, do you know, does he need extra security by chance? I was kind of looking to maybe pick up some extra, off hours work as maybe like a security officer or something. Swing a baton, beat up people.
She tells you that Mr. Sharp is not in the market for security. In fact, they just brought on a whole bunch of military personnel to guard the building. Recently. Very recently. Suspiciously recently.
Are they the new bodyguards, or are they just located entirely on the top floor kind of deal? Because it seems kind of crazy to put military officers on every floor of this place.
Oh, they mostly only come here when General Heller is in the building.
So I'm guessing since we're not seeing any guards around like that, General Heller isn't here?
Oh, no, I think he's up in Mr. Sharp's office right now.
Does he need security?
Does the guy in charge of the military branch of Crown Corporation need security? No. But she gestures to a corner of the lobby where you guys see there is the executive elevator that goes up to Sharp's floor and presumably also down to the restricted basement. And there is a person in military uniform guarding that elevator. This person is a Yuan T, Yuan -Ti, which is D&D's.
They're snake people.
That is D&D's word for snake people.
Sneeple.
Or Sneeple. You can call them snake folks or,
Snokes.
Snakekin, or whatever you want to call it.
Snicken. I don't know.
Naga. Basically anything but Yuan T, which is a bad garbage fantasy word. But this guard in the military uniform has a assault rifle slung over their shoulder, and they are red, black, and yellow.
Ooh.
Such as yellow.
Wait, hold on. If red touches black, you're okay, Jack. If red touches yellow, you're a dead fellow.
Laura, does this culture translate? Because in the southern United States, there's very little that is drilled into children's heads more than the difference between king snakes and
Coral snakes.
Coral snakes.
We don't have a comparable thing to that in England other than, if it looks angry, don't touch it probably, but there's very little that's angry in England because all the animals probably just, drink tea and calm down.
You mean you guys aren't full of snakes?
I don't think I've ever seen a snake in England. I believe that they exist, but I've never seen one.
That's so weird.
What poem do you have to memorize for bear attacks then?
If it's a bear, don't stay there. If it's not, you're probably still in England.
Now, how do you differentiate between your facts of what to do in a bear attack versus a mountain lion
If
attack?
it's a bear, don't stay there. If it's a mountain lion, still don't stay there. If it's big and angry, don't stay there.
In any case, you're still in England. That's the.
If it's a mountain lion, you'll be crying.
See, in America, we just assume kids are going to try to fight snakes because that's just our culture.
I'm gonna punch the shit out of that snake.
So it's important to know which ones are poisonous and which ones are not.
The biggest thing we know is bees and wasps, and it's like, if it's a fluffy round one, it's probably not going to sting you because it doesn't want to die. If it's the sort of smaller, longer one, it might want to sting you.
So this guard at the executive elevator is actually a milk snake. It's non-poisonous, red, black, yellow. Assault rifle, and actually you can see his name tag. It says Private Fortune is that person's name.
I heard porpoise for some reason.
No, that's a later season when there are dolphin folk.
Okay.
So there's a few things like out of character that are going through my head at the second. Like there's the easy thing to try would obviously be like, Sharp is a public enough figure you could probably find an image of them and try and do disguise self to go up. But if you go up there unexpected, that could fall apart very quickly, and to willy-nilly walk into a very guarded place could raise alarms very fast. The basement seems like it's far less likely that we would accidentally alert people and get the whole building locked down. So the basement to me seems like a better place to start, even if it's... I feel like ultimately we're going to have to get to that 108th floor, but I think anything we need to do in the basement is maybe worth doing first.
I agree.
Hey, Kat, is my sexy baby voice any better? Does this make you less uncomfortable?
Oh, no.
The lack of reaction for Catarina is telling.
I don't like this new gimmick of yours. I'm gonna go fist fight the security guard now.
No.
Are there any like janitorial stuff or anything around we can see?
Yes, absolutely. You see a janitor. It's a mole folk, which is the term I'm going to use for our anthropomorphic mole friends.
Mole.
Here's another thing about moles I learned while doing research. This is going to sound like something I made up because of my politics, but the collective noun for moles,
Yeah.
there's a murder of crows and a herd of elephants. A group of moles is called a labor.
Oh, no. Poor babies.
Oh, geez, that's too coincidental.
Also, they're starry-nosed.
They are starry-nosed, and yes, Austin, your D&D universe writes itself now.
So you guys see a mole janitor. He has a mop. He's cleaning up some Fuck. My immediate reaction was to say vomit, but why? Why would that happen?
Someone was disgusted by capitalism.
People just like, oh man, I hate these days. People just walk in and just throw up on the floor and leave. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just cleaning up the mess here. Oh.
A Don Draper lizard was day drinking and yacked.
If this is like a particularly unpleasant job that's going on, that's happening, I kind of want to find like a spot where I won't be noticed to use disguise self.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to turn myself into a janitorial mole person.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have Frank go up to this janitor and go, isn't it time for your lunch about now? Do you want me to finish this off for you?
Now I have to think of a mole voice. What do moles sound like? Good question, Austin.
They sound cute.
They sound like sexy babies.
No, don't do moles like that.
They're like, how to ruin moles for Lauren.
You want to let me go on break?
Yes.
Ooh, you want to take my mom? Go and let me go on
jeez.
break.
It's okay.
I didn't know this was the Boss Baby universe.
Wait, Boss Baby is not about what I thought it was about.
Oh, no.
It is about anthropomorphic animals that work in businesses.
All right, roll deception to trick this mole.
Okay, what is my deception? 15.
Oh, pretty good. The mole says, man, I have used all of my good accents over the course of this show. My inclination was to be like, hey, forget about it.
Please.
Oh, yeah, gonna go on some break over here.
I'm mopping here.
I'll finish mopping for ya.
Ravioli.
Listen.
I'm out of here. Hey, oh.
Have you done a voice yet that's just a little bit sort of like nasally, that's like, yeah, okay.
I thought you were going to say, have you ever done a voice yet that's normal? Yeah, with a 15, this mole is sufficiently uninvested in this employment that he hands you the mop and walks away.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the mop and then just sort of any other like cleaning supplies and things that would make it look like I'm here officially, and just go and stand near the elevator and kind of motion for the rest of the group to do so as well.
I want to talk to the Snake Man.
Frank, you have a mole disguise. Catarina, you're going to walk over and talk to Private Fortune?
Yes.
All right.
Be like, hey, what's up?
You can't do this.
Do it.
No.
Yes.
What's going on? My name is Brody Monk. What's going on? I'm off my hand.
Did you say Brody?
Brody Monk, yeah. It's my character I'm coming up with in the spot here.
Hey, Brody, what's up? He gives you, daps you up.
What?
Do you know dap?
Yeah, we dap, yeah.
Yeah, you dap.
What?
I'm gonna ask him about his I'm like, hey, what's you play Buffett? What's your plan like?
Chris, your accent is so thick. Did you say, what's my plan like?
Yeah, what's your plan? What gets you so swole, man? What's up? I need to hit the gym like that. I won't look like that, you know?
God, this is so much. There's just so much.
There's a lot happening. I don't know what dapping is still.
Some kind of hand clapping, according to Urban Dictionary. Rhythmic hand clapping of some kind.
None of you ever heard of dabs? Give it
Daps?
daps?
A dab with a B. Is that what you're saying?
A dab with a B is
No,
different.
daps.
Yeah, a dap with a P is like a hand clap thing, apparently.
Daps. Like, give me daps.
This podcast is far too white.
Holy shit.
The secret, bro, cut out all sugars, all processed food, just legumes and magic.
Yeah, but what's your core routine gotta be like for that? It looks incredible.
Well, I'm a snake, so I have a very strong core. It's a lot of wiggling, a lot of side to side, like S motions. I'm basically always doing my core.
Show me that again. Oh, let's do that.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, could you hear that I was actually wiggling in my seat while I was talking?
Yes.
Yes.
I could hear that.
Yeah, it's just like this, bro. You just got to do a full, S motion, like you're wiggling on the ground, like a snake, Sidewinder.
I want to mimic it.
Okay, Sidewinder. Come on, sidewinder like
I'm
this.
a side wandering. I'm a svelte little snake. All right, side wandering. I don't know. It feels like there's not enough room over here to do it. You think is there some place with a little more room? I got like a full body routine that I usually like to do. I like to compare notes. You know.
All right.
What's your creatine schedule like? What do you pack your shakes with?
All right. It sounds like you want to make some kind of charisma roll to. I don't even know.
What has this episode become?
To smooth talk the guard into comparing routine notes, you know?
I rolled a 10. I don't have my fitness pal with me, my app, so I can't compare notes. Oh, dang it!
Yeah, so he'll talk to you, and you can chat him up, but he's not going to move or do anything useful for heist purposes with you right now in this situation.
I have a clarification question. Is that I'm assuming we cannot get to the basement from the regular elevator, correct?
Correct. The basement is off limits, so a publicly accessible elevator would not go there. That would be a weird security thing.
Okay.
Ooh, I wanna try something.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I could beat you in a jumping jack contest.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah, bro.
And I want to roll. Damn it! I rolled a 5 for intimidate. Come on.
No, that's an athletic competition.
17.
Crit!
Wait, the snake critted on jumping jacks.
Suck my tail! Suck my tail!
I want to be clear. I want to use this jumping jack contest as a possible opportunity to distract him from observing who would be entering the elevator. So I want us to be like in a circle, jumping jacks at each other, being like, "Oh, come on, I'm not even tired yet." And like while they're doing it, everyone else just sneaks into the elevator.
Okay, this is a serious possibility. The problem is you would get left behind. If you're okay with it, that's fine. I just want you to...
I can figure out my own way downstairs. I'm gonna punch a hole through the ground later.
If the rest of the group wants to go along with this is viable. You guys 3 stealth rolls and 2 of you need to pass.
Do I get advantage because I am in a convincing disguise?
Yes.
Ed rolled a 19 on his stealth.
18. Oh, thank God.
I got a 9 on the first roll and an 18 on the second.
Yeah, everybody passes. So, Catarina, you distract the soldier guarding the executive elevator with jumping jacks, and the 3 of you guys can sneak behind that competition onto the elevator and leave Catarina behind, if you're okay with that.
I'm okay with this, but I'm hoping that there is some way we can get back and get Catarina, but that is we'll work that out.
I want, like, as the doors are closed, you just be like, "Oh man, you're pretty good. Can I get you done?" Like, that's just like the last thing the doors hear before it like slams and goes down.
Yeah. Well, I love that. That's very good. Are you guys going down though? Let's confirm.
Oh, going down.
Down seems smarter than up initially.
All right. So Frank Westerly, Lenora Desmond, and Rene Eddi take the executive elevator down to the basement level, which is not publicly accessible. Meanwhile, Catarina, you finish your jumping jacks contest with the snake folk soldier, and that ends. What do you do?
I don't know. I kind of just met my new best friend, so I don't know. It was a character at the start, but this guy's got like a really great workout routine, and like I imagine maybe we would do some guitar solo, like air guitar solos together afterwards. But then I need to figure out a way downstairs, so I'm going to try to find like a fire escape of some kind, or like not a fire escape, like a staircase, and see if there's any way stair-wise that goes down there.
So if you go to the publicly accessible staircase, which is necessary for like fire reasons, you can go down to the lowest point of it where it ends. It does not go down to the basement, but conceivably it is possible to punch a hole down into the basement. It would be difficult and it would be noisy, but this is a backup plan if for whatever reason you guys could not access the elevator. It is a legitimate option to try to just blow a hole in the floor.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good plan. I'm going to start punching my way through into the next room.
I don't think you're going to punch through, homie.
You did
Hey,
say
you
could
said punch
conceivably
through.
punch a hole through the floor. You did say that.
That was poetic language. I meant with like a bomb.
Well, I don't have a bomb, do I?
Did you forget about the bomb in your inventory in your pyromaniac starter kit?
Oh, for a moment I was like, did I forget about a bomb I'm supposed to have? Oh, wait, can I use a science roll to figure out if I know how to make a bomb?
Please.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Please.
A science roll?
Yeah, well, let's hold on. What's a 12 get me to science up a way through a wall? Because I'm going to tell you, if it doesn't work, I'm going to start punching it.
With a 12, you know that Private Fortune had a grenade on his belt.
All right, yeah, I'm going to go back. We're going to do we're going to do some burpees.
This is going to be a very loud thing to do in basically the stalking stage. You're going to set off a hand grenade.
We shouldn't have left her alone.
I'm going... Crit! I got his grenade!
Catarina did crit to steal Private Fortune's grenade.
Yes!
I cannot deny that that is a thing that just happened.
Do you know any spells by any chance, like silence? No.
She's a monk barbarian.
It's going to be fine. You guys do your thing.
We're all gonna die.
What spells do I have that I can come back up as a mole and be like, oh, let's come to prevent this going? I do not have anything to silence your grenade.
Well, we also do not have any way of knowing that this is what she's doing.
It's fine. Just you guys will be fine.
Oh, we'll be fine.
Will we? Will we get caught because she sets off a grenade?
The question I have is, like, if she gets caught, that alerts people, like, oh, these shits are back again.
Also, what if she grenades right above where we are and then the floor falls on our heads and we die that way?
That is also a good thought. Thank you. I'll write that down. All right, so Catarina goes and challenges Private Fortune to a burpee contest, steals his grenade, and then goes back to the stairwell.
Wait, no, idea, out of character, very quickly. Put the grenade somewhere that's not near him and go, oh bro, did you drop your grenade? And use that as your excuse to distract him to get in the elevator yourself.
I mean, that's a good idea, but I don't get to actually use the grenade.
Oh my god.
Okay.
In a way, I brought this on myself, karmically speaking, with the sexy baby voice, so. All right, Frank, Ed, Lenora, elevator. The door's open. Have you guys ever seen a server room?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Rows and rows and rows, encased in climate-controlled rooms, glass walls, glass doors, all locked with key pads with like card swipes and stuff. Inside, just servers on servers on servers, blinking lights, cords. Great cord management, though. Really nice tight bundles. They got their stuff on lock. There's a long hallway in front of the elevator, and on each side, for like the entire length of the building, there are servers encased in these glass rooms. None of you are hackers or tech experts. None of you even have any idea of where to start with that. But at the end of this long hallway, between the two halves of the server room, there is a black wall at the end of it, and there's a door on that wall with a sign over that says private.
I'm a cat. We all know how cats feel about closed doors.
Is there a card, like one of those like card swipe things to open the door?
Yeah, all the glass rooms on each side, there's like multiple sections, and each one has its own locked door with a card swipe thing. The door on the far end, which says private, is just a handle. You can't tell if it's locked from here, but there is not a card thing. Also, if you type server room into Google Images, you get literally exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone has the same idea of how these things are. I guess probably for heat management, you really can only do it one way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the server room doors that have the card swipe thing, I just want to try swiping any old holodeck card in there and just see what happens, because this is Algernon's dad runs this business, and I'm like, there's a chance.
It's like an old barcode battler thing.
Yeah,
like,
is part of this like no hacker would think to do this, but if my son needs access to the servers, fine, whatever.
I love that idea. I'm in a romantic love with it working. It does not, but I wish it did. But no.
I knew it probably wouldn't, but Frank had to try it just because if something might need cards, surely holodeck cards are always the answer if you need cards.
Were life only so simple.
Okay. The other thing that I'm thinking is, Lenora and Ed haven't done anything with disguises, but Frank is disguised like a member of the janitorial team, so Frank's just gonna go and try and open that door at the end.
All right, so you walk the length of the server room. It's like weirdly chilly in here because in order to make sure all the information is safe, they keep the air conditioning cranked right up. You walk all the way down this long hallway. You pass all these banks of servers. You get to the door. It's just a normal handle. You can't tell if it's locked before you touch it, but when you turn it, it is locked. But it does not seem like it's a super security lock. It's just a normal lock.
Do you want to just do your thing with your key thing? Try and open this door up?
I can take care of it. Lenora, do you want to take it if you prefer?
You do it, and then if you fail, I'll do it.
You try to pick the lock and it explodes.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what I'm worried about, but let's see here. That's 17.
Yeah, you employ your lock picking mechanism out of your arm, and you actually find it is very easily picked. It's a pretty standard lock, just like you would find on a household doorknob. It pops, and the door is unlocked. Although I am very... Chris, are you planning on using that grenade? Because there is like this incredible tension right now that at any time you're going to set it off, and then I need to sync these two scenes because the ceiling's going to explode.
You know what?
Don't.
I would say no unless someone sends her a message that they need to.
No, they have... Listen, as far as they know, you're just up there flexing at your new friend.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, unless told otherwise, she's not gonna like if something alerts her that maybe something's happening downstairs that she needs to get involved in, then yeah. Like if she starts hearing trouble down there, but otherwise, nah, she's probably just like talking routines and shit like that with her new best bud.
Okay. Because I liked the image in my head of like Ed easily picks the door lock and the ceiling explodes. But if you're not going to use it, that's fine.
Ed is going to kind of hold up a motion for quiet, and then carefully open the door to peer in to see if someone is inside of the room.
You open the door at the end of the server room. You peer inside, and it appears to be a office. It seems empty. There's a desk. There's a TV. There's what appears to be a video game console on the desk. There's some soda cans on the floor. There's a bag of chips. Nobody's in here.
Is it a Q box? Is that what it is?
It's the rival to the Q box. Hold on. Here we go.
The Slay Station?
Slay Station? Oh my god.
Yeah, fine. I'm not gonna beat that on such short notice. Yeah.
Frank is gonna walk in, and his gut instinct here is to look around and just go, is there anything in here that screams Algernon Sharp?
Can you roll me investigation to search the room?
I can. Investigation. Oh, +6 on that. That's a good one. 22.
Very good. So Frank, you go into the room boldly and start looking around. And I mean, to answer your question, yes. In fact, you immediately get the sense that this is Algernon's private room. This is where he spends most of his time. You look around and you find deck boxes for his cards. You find clothes you recognize. He has like a feather boa and some bling. There's like too many rings and stuff in one of the desk drawers. You start to get like secondhand embarrassed. You see that there's... I'm trying to think, what's some really embarrassing stuff to find that in someone's room?
Porn.
Like, I don't...
Wallet chains.
I was literally halfway through, I don't want to get gross, and Lauren just shouted.
I would say posters for like cartoon characters that are like, beneath what you should be watching at a particular age.
Like sexy anime girls?
But sexy snakes, because he's a Medusa.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on, that's a thing. The joke was that was ridiculous, but there's literally an anime about a sexy snake girl, so who's the idiot now? It's me.
Lenora steals the boa.
Frank is going to take some item of clothing that he recognizes Algernon wears a lot and just, like, rub it on his armpit or something just so he can be like, yeah.
You jerk.
So is there anything of use around here, Frank, for you to find out?
Frank, you rolled a 22, so I have more to tell you.
Okay.
That wasn't the end of the description.
I'll just say, if it makes any difference, actually that was a 23 because Frank has a +7 to investigation.
Oh shit, a 23, that changes everything.
I know.
So you're looking around, you guys find his clothes, you find his jewelry, you find food and beverages, you find the sexy snake posters, and there is also a remote on top of the desk with a weird blinking red light. None of you guys have ever seen a remote like this, but it seems vaguely related to the video gaming stuff that's in here as well. Notably, you do not find the card you're here for. Avarice itself is the name of that card. But you definitely think it should be here. This is Algernon's room. This is where he would keep it. It's extremely secure, the building and the room, and this is the most Algernon space that exists. It should be here.
Okay, and there's the weird flashing remote that's something to do with the console that we don't quite know what it is.
Correct.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to not press this button. Frank presses the button.
All right, you push the button, and there's a whirring noise as the video game system was in low power mode.
It was in sleep mode, like doing its background update downloads.
Yeah, it was doing something, but you push the button and it comes on, is the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is Lenora Desmond, Frank Westerly, and Rene Eddi are disintegrated.
We're in the video game.
Well, okay, Lauren, I was gonna build up to it and then...
I knew it for like 10 minutes.
Do you want to be the DM, Lauren, if you know exactly what I'm doing?
See, you could have given me a minute to be like, oh, I fucked up and killed the party.
Sorry, I was very excited that I was right.
I'm now really sad that Cat's not down here. Cat needs to be in our video game.
All week, I looked forward to this.
Austin, please do your build up because I want to hear the build up.
Before you do that, just put this in the pile of the number of times Lauren has thwarted your best plans.
No, it's great.
It's just going straight to the ceiling.
Lavinia totally changed the end of season 2. Theodora became the end of season 3. It is only right for Lauren to guess exactly what's happening 10 minutes before it happens. This room is wired for not just virtual reality, but another reality altogether.
Oh, shit.
Using the power of this server room, Algernon has a custom-built VR gaming system, which transports you into the game. And if you had checked the game system, you would have saw that the cartridge that is inserted is Hollodeck VR DX2 Remix.
Shit. I was never a fan of DX2 Remix because at that point, they were just like really milking the franchise for all it's worth. Really, I mean, come on, 80 gold for a re-release of an upscaled version of the game.
How do I get Cat in here ASAP?
So the three of you are in this room. Frank pushes a button and you all are disintegrated by the technology in the room. And then it just cuts to Catarina with Private Fortune in front of the elevator just being like, damn, dude, nice glutes.
You do a lot of sit-ups or what's up with that? Squats? What do you squat? What do you bench? Yo, it's like, oh, wait, what do you bench? I had a small stroke there for a moment. That's why my voice changed. It's back now. What do you bench?
A, B, B. Always be benching. I'm benching right now. Look at this dude. He has the gun and he's just like doing squat bench. He's like squatting, but also thrusting the gun up, and that doesn't do anything. But he's just like, you always got to be constantly exercising at all times. You got to keep your body taut and ready like a weapon.
Yeah, you gotta keep your back straight though. Your form's a little off. It might be. Hold on, let me show you how it's done. This is how deep you can get with the squat. See how low you can get.
I like the idea that you just start an exercise club with this NPC who is supposed to be like an enemy and just becomes your new best friend, and you guys have a spin-off show where you just work out.
Yeah.
All right, so the rest of the party has been digitized and transported inside of this video game. The three of you, your pixels, you float down out of the sky and you reassemble. You're in a big antechamber. In fact, it is the throne room from the Hollodeck anime, but instead of the villain of the anime on the throne, it's Algernon Sharp.
I knew it.
And he sees the three of you appear, and he says, "Oh, snizzity snap. I heard you were working for Bo, Frank, but I didn't think you'd bring the whole nerd squad. Good timing, though. I just finished modding this game. I hope you like the changes I've made."
Nice riff on Hollodeck, the anime season 4 you got going here.
I didn't put on the full costume because that guy dresses like a chump, but I got the color scheme, basically. I've incorporated it into my look.
Does he look like Pegasus?
He looks exactly like Pegasus, except when he grins, you see he has a grill.
A Millennium Grill?
A Millennium Grill, and it says in big capital letters, "lethal" across it. So, what do you guys do? You're in this throne room, and Algernon is sitting on his throne. Algernon Sharp, son of Richard Sharp, the leader of the finance branch. He's dressed like an anime pimp. He has a deck of cards sitting on his throne. He looks down at you all disdainfully.
I'm gonna taunt him. Thanks for the boa. It's mine now, bitch.
I wouldn't get so mouthy, bitch, because guess what?
No.
Guess what?
No.
We're in your world now? Is that what you're going to say?
No. I was gonna say something cooler than that.
Like what?
Welcome to your doom.
No, cooler than that.
We're gonna say, oh, look at all the friends I have. Oh, wait, no, that's me over here with my friends, not you, because you're alone in a video game.
No, what I was gonna say is, if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Original.
Hey, Frank, did you watch all of season 4?
Yeah.
All right, then you know what's next, don't you? And he pushes a button on the throne, and the floor beneath you disappears, and you guys all fall into an endless chasm.
Yes, here we go.
All right, so you guys land at the bottom of this trap door chasm. You're in a dusty, dungeon room. There are 3 doors out of here. Each one is like a big, golden ornate door with like 1,000 locks and, bars all across it. You've seen the anime, Frank, so you know that each of these is like a challenge room that was featured in the show. And also you're in a video game, so they're levels. One door says above it, aggro. One door says above it, control. And one door says above it, combo.
Before we pick a door down here, can you hear us, Algernon?
Yeah, what's up, loser?
So, if you're going for the whole you brought us into your anime world thing here, surely, narratively, it would make sense for me, the person who's been brought into this world, to be here with all of my friends, because that is how the narrative conceit of this works, and one of my friends is still upstairs. You want to get in on the fun?
Canonically in the anime, there's 4.
Oh, there's 4 in the anime.
You're like, we don't have our Tristan.
We don't have our Tristan.
Where is our lovely bumbling 4th member who's not really good at the card game but is here for moral support?
Hey, Cyber Soldier is a very good card.
Chris, what are you doing? Because if you want to get down there, I want it to be. It should be more organic, is what I'm saying.
Eventually, I'm probably. Can I flirt with this guy? Can I try a flirt roll with Private Glory?
Glory.
What's his name? I forgot.
Fortune.
Oh, I'm sorry. Glory sounds more ridiculous than Fortune.
Persuasion or performance, depending on how you want to approach it. With more like, is it more showy or is it like coming from a genuine place?
Well, it's definitely gonna be performance on because there's nothing genuine. 19.
Yeah, pretty good. I think you get his attention. He thinks you're interested. Not so much that he's just going to let a stranger into the elevator. I mean, remember that considering the security level here, just be like, oh, you're a hot chick. I'm going to commit treason. Like,
So can I try to slide the grenade across the room? Well, that could be dangerous. Then everybody's going to be like a bomb threat.
yeah, homie, if you start sliding grenades across the lobby, there's going to be a much bigger problem than one horny soldier.
Is that a grenade in your pocket, or are you excited to see me?
Oh, you dropped your grenade.
Oh, I got an idea. Hey, you Private Fortune, that's your name. You want to practice chokeholds or one another? I'll go first.
Are you just presuming that he's a constrictor? Is that what you're doing here?
I'm a milk snake, dude. It's not. It's different.
I got a wicked cobra clutch.
You say that very stupid thing. And Private Fortune's radio hisses on, or the equivalent. It's more technologically advanced. He has like a brooch or something on his uniform that clicks on, and you hear a voice say, "Private, I'm coming downstairs." And Private Fortune responds, like snaps to attention real quick, stops paying attention to you, says, "Yes, General. The executive elevator is secure, sir."
Sneak in when the other guy gets out.
So as I was saying, I've got a pretty sweet Kimura locks.
What?
Those words?
Kimura lock.
Oh, Kimura lock. Okay. It sounded, you said s'mores loaf.
I heard locks, like the stuff you put on bagels.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, s'mores with locks, the most delicate of delicacies. What is this fucking episode?
Are y'all high?
This is gonna help that. You know, the wall pad in here kind of looks like one of those magic eye things. If you look at it the right way, it kind of looks like a sailboat. And if he starts looking at it, I'm gonna slam his face into the wall and then run into the elevator.
Holy shit! Okay, so there's like a whole episode of Catarina building up a rapport with this guy, and then you're just gonna smash his whole grill, huh?
No, he's been nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm trying to figure out a way to get downstairs. I don't know. We'll wait to see what happens when General Keller comes down.
Heller.
All right, so I guess you decide against smashing his face.
Yes.
All right.
Against my better judgment.
All right, so you continue to banter with Private Fortune. The elevator eventually opens, and there is an enormous cobra snake folk inside, whose military uniform is covered. Every single inch of it is festooned with medals. To your knowledge, Valentine has never had any major military conflicts. This person's uniform is replete with every possible medal and some that seem impossible. This imposing figure, which is General Heller. He is a cobra with a very impressive hood. He's basically Jafar from the end of Aladdin, but in an army suit.
So it's big boy season in this elevator then.
You just wanted to say big boy season.
I did.
I caught you. Heller steps out of the elevator and says, "All right, Private, you ready to go?" "Actually, I don't care. I'm your superior. I'm not nice." That's my personality.
I need to tell myself I'm not nice every day. It's self-affirming. That's what my therapist tells me. It's self-affirming. I gotta be more self-affirming.
It's all about confidence. Private Fortune. And he starts walking away.
From the elevator?
Yes, he's leaving.
Okay, can I sneak into the elevator?
This would be an opportune time to do so. Private Fortune is leaving with General Heller, but there are other security guards, the private forces who worked here before the military mysteriously got involved, who are coming over in the shift change. So I want you to A, describe how you make this work. Just in your mind, picture Mission Impossible movie, make it cool. And B, roll stealth.
Okay, so my stealth, I got a 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do, I'm thinking less Mission Impossible and more Pink Panther. And I'm basically like pressing my body up behind Private Fortune. And I'm going to, like, as he walks, I'm going to shuffle. So, like, once he gets his back to the elevator, that's when my front is to the elevator. And I'm just going to, like, slink in real quick.
Okay, so first of all, you're going to say anything to Private Fortune because you guys bantered for like an hour. And he's leaving now. So he's just like, "All right, bro, see you later. Hit me up on Facebook or whatever the equivalent is."
Yeah, I'll get you later. We gotta compare macros and stuff. There's a lot left to do, you know?
And he starts walking away. He's at attention. He's being professional, so he's not keeping a super close eye on you. But with a 13, the people coming in to replace him do see you.
I'm gonna jam that door close button.
All right. So you're going up or down?
Down.
All right. So Catarina, you're gonna follow up the rest of the group, but security saw you go in the elevator.
Joke's on them. I have a faster speed from being a monk. And a hand. Oh, wait. Hold on. When I get to the bottom, can I throw the hand grenade in the elevator?
Oh, Oh my god.
Yes!
I mean, we'd have no way out.
You want to blow up the elevator that is the only way out of the basement while security converges on you?
Please keep it. Please keep the grenade.
Keep the grenade.
Oh, fine. I'm never gonna get to use this grenade.
Like, Katarina's like, I never get to do anything fun.
I never get to use the grenade.
You're just gonna have weeks of build up to have the best grenade usage ever.
Katarina, the elevator descends as you see security forces are running towards the elevator. The doors close before they get there, but it's, you have started it. It has begun. Meanwhile, inside of the Hollodeck game, you guys are in a room. There are 3 doors: control, aggro, and combo, which are the 3 main deck archetypes of Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone.
If I was there, would mid-range be the other one?
Yeah, mid-range is a tempo-based aggro archetype. I also considered Voltron, but that wouldn't really make sense in universe. That's a commander strategy. Everyone turned off the podcast. Oh no, it's just me now.
I'm still listening.
Not gonna lie, I don't know what's going on.
What do you do?
I say we go for combo because it sounds like the most friendshipy one.
Right, so the way this works, I know you guys haven't really paid much attention to my old card game thing, but like, this is basically different styles of how we can get through this. So, are we being direct and aggressive? Are we trying to be synergistic with each other? That's your sort of core idea going on. So, like, any of these sound like something that you guys that seem like a good fit for us.
I vote combo. Friendship.
Combo and the power of friendship is a tempting one. That's where my gut's going as a place to start.
I'm fine with working with combo to start off with.
All right, you guys approach the door labeled combo, and all the locks pop and the bars pull up and the chains retract and the door opens, and there's a big flash of golden anime light as the animators cut as many corners as possible not to show what's inside until they absolutely need to. The game's loading. And yeah, in fact, let's lean into this being a game. The doors open, and then you guys are suddenly in a room that is loaded around you. There's no need to do all the transitionary work there. VR is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So you find yourself in a gladiatorial arena, and there's all the people in the crowd are like bad 2D textures put on bad polygon models, and they're just kind of moving up and down. There's like 3 animations, like a crowd in Gran Turismo, and you see there's a big jumbotron screen with Algernon's face plastered over it, and he says, "All right, losers, you pick combo. I hope you're ready because, unlike Frank, I actually know how to play this game."
Oh yeah, says the person who came into this game, what, like 4 years ago or something? You weren't even around in the old meta.
You may have innovated the meta, Frank, but I've surpassed you in every way. You're all flash, no substance. There's a reason you haven't made a GP in, 3 years?
Yeah, because I got better things to be spending my money on than unlike some people.
Not good cards, apparently. Nice comeback, loser.
Hey, you're the loser.
Yeah, friends. I have friends. Screw you.
No, screw you. So, this is going to be D&D combat to represent a holodeck game. So, Algernon says, all right, I'll go first. Turn 1, I'm going to play, let's see here. I'll start easy on you. I play Mystic of Forged Stone. And you see up on the Jumbotron, he pushes a card down onto the playing surface. It's like the dual disc from Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like a thing he wears on his wrist where you can play cards. And in front of you, inside of this Coliseum, there appears in front of you a creature, which is printed on the card, and you've seen from the anime as well, which is a woman in kind of monk robes holding a staff. And Frank, you know the Mystic of Forged Stone is part of a combo. And when it assembles all the pieces, Algernon wins.
This is essentially Exodia, is it?
Yeah, basically, you guys need to beat up this person before they finish assembling Exodia.
Time to duel.
Hello, Lauren, famous for voicing Lenora Desmond on season 4 of Dice Funk, also Lavinia on season 2, and Dora on season 3.
They were all a real stretch for me.
Very well. I would say they're all very small, but they're not. One is big.
Oh, that one actually is a stretch.
How is it?
Living all my tall dreams.
Nice. I'm here to talk about credits, including the music credits, which I'm going to do now.
Do it.
We used New Jack Mantle, an arrangement of The Mantle from Nights into Dreams, Music of Funk, an arrangement of Stage 1 Gotham City from Batman for the NES, and Linear Groove, an arrangement of A-Type and B-Type from Tetris. That's all the music, because the wrestling arc is over now.
Aren't you happy?
Yeah, I like all that music. It's very good.
I do too, but I imagine it's hard for you to, edit.
My life is editing hell. Do you want to do other credits?
Okay, yeah. Executive producers for February 2018. I'ma start. Extellaris.
Kerstine Haslinger.
Joseph Tombrello.
Jade.
Arna Helgadottir.
Helga daughter?
Helgadottir?
Yeah, like John's son is John's son, Helga's daughter.
Oh.
It's a
true.
Norse thing.
Okay, your turn.
Brent.
The Cult of Gorfanax.
Paul Mullen.
Dr. Goatman.
Toshiro Kuru.
Andrew Grothin.
Levi the Young.
Kevin Dobbins.
Anthony Sauvier.
Morgan Rapp.
Jay Logan.
The cast of Dungeons the Gathering.
Madison Lilith McKenzie.
Notorious Stoltz, or Stoltzy, I'm sorry.
Victoria Melito.
Scotty Vilhard.
Aline.
Majin.
Kritarion.
Ren.
Einar Johansson.
Carter Rayner.
Major Tem.
Matthew B. Hare.
Jorgen Indie Monster.
Winewick Ford.
Josie Gazet.
Razumi Yuzura.
Albert West.
Jason.
Ken Fursel.
Eleanor Nonanteses Periton.
Scott Cummings.
Starlight Glimmer did nothing wrong.
Jewman Jack.
Mel Teach.
Arjun de Koenig.
Grimlock.
John Potts.
Dawson Parr.
Noah Sudret.
Zephysaurus.
Elderly Goose.
Salad Child.
Seraph Stone.
Thorsten Gross.
Devin Smith.
Caster UK.
Aki Savalainen.
The Paladin's Wife.
Florian H.
Please give Johnny a hug.
We always do. Junk 2.0.
The Hat Cells.
Dominic Bowden.
Melissa Nielsen.
Dawn.
Eugene T.
Connor Reynolds.
Pruitt Holcomb.
Artemis BJJ Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Bristol.
Francois V.
Shyness.
Dennis Pancake Detlefson.
Miko from Finland.
Dennis Bengtson.
Josh Mosier.
Indigo Vandane.
Allison Ansell.
Sydney Marsing.
Just a Jester.
Sevarden Akrasimova.
Brady Horner.
Kitty Foe.
James Neely.
Marissa Donaldson.
M. Joe.
Lana Seawolf.
Toby Gleason Stack.
Matthew Weber.
Melissa Booker.
Cameron Abbas.
Dylan.
Anna Stillfire.
Sean, the host of Funk Dunk Plays.
Harrison Andrew.
Christopher Charlow.
Jorrit.
Viger Arnston.
Cody Jackson.
And August Rue.
We did it.
We did all the names. Thank you for 2018.
Wow. Happy
Wow.
February.
What else do we have to talk about in this part? Sketch is bandcamp.com/sketch, something like that.
Laura is Laura K. Buzz everywhere.
Yep, kotaku.co.uk.
Chris, he does stuff.
Weekly manga recap. That should be his new fucking catchphrase. This is Chris, he does stuff. iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Podbean. Is there anywhere we aren't?
You have a Patreon.
I do. Patreon.com/AustinOrsky. That's where I live now.
And then if you want to harass me, I'm just Raglicious on Twitter.
No one knows how to spell that.
RAWRGLICIOUS.
Wow. I learned a lot. That's the whole thing, right?
Special thanks to all the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Mine and Laura's and any other cats about.
Anna, Smudge.
Zelda.
What's the hedgehog?
Oh,
B-Scotch.
Well, that's her nickname. She really is the Duchess Karina of Butterscotch.
Not so special thanks, because she is very rude.
Special thanks. I take a lot of inspiration from her rude dude.
Okay, yeah, that helps you with your role playing. Also, thanks to Echo, who is a dog who's in my house as we record this. He's very good at fetch.